Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, host and Pearl Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero, psych defender of the fatherland, off here to a glorious 1v1 on Nexus. In the west is Clorora, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 2nd Panzer Division with Lightning War, Spearhead, and Mechanized. In the east is Prabuty, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Here with the 3rd Armored Division with Rifle Company, featuring Sherman EC8s, Rifle Defensive Structures, Advanced Infantry Equipment, Half-Tracks, and the White Phosphorus Smoke Barrages versus Lightning War, Spearhead, and Mechanized, as mentioned. Grenadier MD-42 versus the Rifle Start. Also, both players are heading southwards, so that's interesting there. Going to see some early engagement. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters. Without them and their generous support, the Propagandacast would not be possible. So big thanks go out to every single one of those wonderful people. Other can join the ranks by Patreon or donate by PayPal. Links in the description. You can also, if you're going to pre-order Cameron's Fee, do it by the link in the comments, in which case I get a part of the sale there. Use the code STUG3G, all caps, except of course for the number, and that will ensure I get that. And also just comment, like, share, subscribe, you know, all the sort of algorithm down stuff you need to do to help YouTube actually get my video out. So, Grenadiers MD-42 versus a Rifle Squad, heavy fighting in the south, and machinery in there. That's going to put some pressure on Prabuty in the south here. Pioneers push back. Losses there as Friedrich and Otto get ripped apart there by the Americans. More troops arriving here as Clorora is focusing pretty hard in the south, but Prabuty is already dispatching forces northwards here. Pioneers close being wiped out here. That's certainly put Clorora in a bit of a bind here in the early game, losing a 200 man per unit like that. I don't know why he's trying to grab a point here. Like, I feel like this is just Clorora making a really bad call here. Like, just... Like, I get you want the point, but that's not worth a Pioneer squad in the early game. That was just... I don't know really what happened there for Clorora. I guess that was a mind fart, as you occasionally get them, even at these, higher levels. Occasionally, just like, you get so obsessed with an idea, like, it's probably like, the sunk, cost fallacy. Like, he's already, like, he's already suffered so much for it, he should at least finish it up, and then just ends up losing the Pioneers. Like, had he just not gotten caught up in that, he'd still have the Pioneers. And he still wouldn't have got the fuel point, but at least he had the Pioneers. So, enough about that. We got Grenadiers with the Rifle Squad here, bit of skirmishing there. Pioneers ready, squad them to the Clorora. Rifle Squad backing off here. Grenadiers MD-42 moving about here. Up north, Rifle Squad almost got the northern fuel point here. Clorora still without a commander. I mean, none of them are particularly early game oriented either. Like, theoretically, you could say Mechanized offers a bit of a fast 250 half-track, but most players, unfortunately, typically never bother with it. I think it's pretty good personally, in particular with some Panzer Grenadiers or Stormtroopers. Still, he got the southern fuel point, but he may also want to grab the southern victory point and the munitions point. As for Prabuty, we got the lieutenant on the way here, El Teniente. Further up north, the Rifle got the northern fuel point for freedom and democracy. Can also lay down some mines soon and begin setting up sandbags with the riflemen due to the rifleman defensive structures, which is part of this commander. Pioneers ground the point here. I imagine we're looking up at the 3rd Grenadier Squad here for Clorora, and then some tech. Lieutenant right around the corner. Rifle Squad here with some mines. Thumbs up to Prabuty. And sandbags in the car, and they're getting flanked with the Rifle Squad here. While Clorora proceed to lose another Pioneer squad here, Prabuty. That would certainly be rather crippling if he keeps losing Pioneers. Lieutenant down here for Prabuty. Freedom and democracy. Car point are being hit, though. Not a crucial car point at the moment. It could, of course, become an issue down the road. Heading southwards here. Going to attack Clorora on the south, though we do have a Grenadier squad willing to perhaps contest that. Bringing in this Rifle squad. Now with the Rifle squad focusing on the Grenadiers, the Pioneers going to close in, just do a lot of free damage, and up close the Pioneers actually have a respectable amount of DPS, which does tend to go looked, and there go Rifle squad push back. In the south here, more pressure here from Prabuty. Looks like it's going to focus on the northern fuel point, even as the south is now being attacked here by Prabuty, though we do again have one Grenadier squad, this Rifle squad already low in health here. Not low, but, they suffered some damage here, so the Grenadiers actually have a chance here, particularly if, say, follow up with a well-placed rifle grenade. But there are more troops bringing in for Prabuty, including a fresh lieutenant here. Clorora, I think, has teched up. Yes, indeed, nothing further out there. No Panzer Grenadier soon here, or, say, a half-track. Some tech, we do have the M20 for Prabuty, a bit of faster light vehicles here versus Clorora. Grenadiers are taking some losses from lieutenants. He's just ripping them apart here up close. So that Thompson Lieutenant Wheels adds a significant amount of DPS, by the way, to the unit there. Should not be taken lightly. There's the retreating here. Back here, we got the M20 almost down there for Prabuty. He's bringing up Temple's side against Prabuty's forces up north. He hasn't gained the fuel point either there, so I feel like Clorora there definitely got punished for, like, you know, just switching hard south instead of just coming more to the north, you know, just teching a bit more efficiently. So and it feels like a bit of an early game with some bumps, and I think part of it is simply getting loose in that early Pioneer squad, probably rattled Clorora a bit here. Well, got the M20 utility cart here for Prabuty. It's basically just a Greyhound with the turret removed. Utility car was primarily utilized for supporting tank destroyer units, for example, acting as a spotter for them alongside some jeeps. So, a bit interesting here. The Greyhound was actually more the primary reconnaissance vehicle for the United States Army. Adding the armored side skirts there. 2-2, halfway down here for Clorora. Of North here on these Pioneers with the Raft Squad there. Ambulance out here for Prabuty. Getting some damage in there, down to 3 men. In the south, they've got the guns put back the Raft Squad. Nice use of fire up there. Quick sprint. Thumbs up to Prabuty. And once more, Clorora finds his on the fuel pump cut off. Of course, the armored car will provide him with some needed mobility here versus Prabuty and something to contain the M20. We'll have to see if Clorora commits to, say, another 2-2 here. That could be an interesting option versus Prabuty. Though it is fairly rare. There you go. MD-42 plus the armored car. He starts hanging with Prabuty's rifleman there. Screaming for orders to retreat. Even as they're being hammered by the Germans. Down to 3 men already. Casualties are piling up. The health is dropping at an exponential rate. Not a word to say a lot there. Back here, troop reinforcing. Ambulance that raid. The Raft Squad is a bit removed from it. I'm using Norfolks. Catching the reactions here. Need some troops on that southern fuel point. Still. Would not be surprised if Prabuty goes for Stuart Light Tank next. 20 up north here. Is he planning perhaps to lay down some anti-vehicle mines with it? Or anti-tank mines? That is certainly a powerful thing on the M20. And there goes Stuart Light Tank for Prabuty, Freedom and Democracy. Here's the Lieutenant here. Go again, fight for the southern fuel pump. Prabuty's maintaining excellent fuel control, and Clorora is just not quite managing the same. Stuart Light Tank halfway done, finally pushing for northern fuel point. Gunny's been caught with the M20's going to the armored car there, or a Pack 40, which he's going for. Well, there's also option C, which would be some Panzer Grenadiers with Panzer Schrecks. That tends to be one of the rarer options. Stuart Light Tank almost done, more troops heading southwards, even as the fighting north is also happening. Center remains largely American. Machine repositioning in there. Up north here we got the armored covers, the 2 Grenadier squads here. Got the victory pump, the fuel pump remains beyond the reach of the German army due to the M20. And we got the M51 Stuart Light Tank out here for Prabuty. He's been tapped the Raft squads. Firing out the Raft squad, getting another kill here. Heading off, so the Lieutenant is busy grabbing a northern fuel point. Armored car versus the Raft squad, backed up here now by the MD-42 again. Some fresh skirmishes here in the center north. Stuart those ready to deal with that. Pack 40 is more center south, so it'll take a bit of a while to get close to the Stuart Light Tank, and for now it's the M20. Clorora is sort of moving about, but he's really struggling, I think, to find any purge. You see versus Prabuty, who's so far, I think, doing a fairly good job here, keeping Clorora, well, off the fuel points fairly consistently. 5th cannon away there for Prabuty, the Mardeus. Raft Squad out the Pioneers, Armored Carnival as well, plus the M42 here. Also got the Stuart moving in. Pack 40, though, is in a position where it can move in swiftly, and we got Clorora here going for a 4th Grenadier squad here. Finally deciding he wants more infantry. Not a bad idea, though. Person would like to see some Panzer Grenadier with their slightly higher offensive ability, plus the bomb grenade can be quite handy for, you know, scoring the occasional wipe on an unwary opponent. North point seized. Let's do it there. Falling a bit back in, machine repositioning. Pack 40 also the move, seizing the center. Looks like he might plan to try and swing up the Pack 40 here and then hammer down there, but there's already plenty of infantry on the move, and they're going to catch the machine gun right at the worst time here for Clorora as it's setting up here. Plus, again, note the terrain here again makes it harder for him to, like, easily spot the infantry set up in the right way, so Already the machines caught off guard, but there you go. Pack 4 lands a great here on the M20. Setting up the machine gun out in the open as Ravscourt. Pack shoots gets her in the suit as well. Decent work there for Clorora. In the south, the fuel point is once more hit by Prabuty and the 3rd Armored Division. Baker Company. Just coming about here. Got the Stuart and the M20 moving south at sea. Clorora is definitely feeling the heat here for Prabuty and Democracy. Going to use their push back. Up north, they're going to be met by the 5th Cal. They're out in the open. They are, unsurprisingly, forced to retreat here up north. Lieutenant with the bazooka as the Grenadiers. That should be a win here for Clorora's men. There you go, Lieutenant routed, though he really should get some fuel there. As for Prabuty, he's actually soon within range of being able to take up here already. Technically, so is Clorora. Going for another machine gun here to help contain the army cannon. Not a bad idea, though. Not a bad idea, though. Really should get that fuel point. It's also right next to the mine. There was mines for guys and got it cleared out. Wunderbar. That's wunderbar of your Prabuty, I guess. Weapon racks that are being unlocked. Someone's looking for the keys. So this man can get some BARs and some bazookas. So we're heading northwards. Pack in the south. Pretty awkward position. I mean, thing is, if it gets rushed by infantry, there's nothing to really support. Okay, so I think you realize to move it away, but also, like, any rush would clear it out. Definitely a risky position, and on top of that, the terrain is also, like, tough to get it out of. It, like, there's, you know, things get heated up there, so definitely good he's moving away from there, and that was not optimal positioning of Pack 40 in my experience. Up north, he's still going for the Pioneers, backed up relations in case the Germans have been laying down mines. Though so far, Clorora hasn't really had the time, it seems, to do that. Fifth Cal flanked and routed in the south here, though more fun here. Grenadiers with aim before support moving in there. I imagine Clorora's plan is to leave one machine gun to defend the southern field point, and then use the other machine gun maybe around the center to support the troops more freely. Tends to be like one tactical approach. Some players will go with one, like going for double info twos. One will be more static, the other one will be a bit more active in servicing the German frontline troops against the Amerikanen. Finding sent another big push here by Prabuty now with barred up riflemen. He can certainly give Clorora a bit more of a challenge. Clorora still without a commander here, by the way. Slowly approaching the 30-minute mark, and we are not seeing a commander pick there for Clorora. I mean, all of them are sort of, again, have a bit more of a late game element, so it's hard to say which one, but the two of them involving Tiger tanks, I definitely get the impression he's more likely to go for either Lightning War here or Spearhead. The question is just basically what kind of flavor of Tiger tank does he want? Meanwhile, tech there for Clorora, very good. Prabuty has yet to take up, so despite everything, there's actually a good chance here Clorora might be able to get out a tank here faster than Prabuty, depending on what Prabuty does. Okay, there's taking up himself there. Still, if Clorora pushes for his armor fast enough, we could still theoretically, I think, get a tank out here faster than Prabuty, in particular with that fuel harassment that happened there. Actually messing up a bit there, Prabuty's fuel lead. Finding around the northern car pond against the Reasons. The Reasons immediately lose Bobby there, who was definitely not ready for that. Stewart there. Got a pack firing here. Not entirely sure what. My gosh, Jürgen says a squirrel fires a pack! What? Oh, god damn it, we already shot it. I've already fired a pack at a squirrel! Here's the northern fuel point. Sapomacop there for Clorora. They're good. The Southie Grenadiers with the MD-42 have been repositioned. Towards the north, interestingly enough here. And there you go, I'm trying to go for a flank here. Very nice over there by Prabuty. Thumbs up. Forcing Clorora off to the southern field point. It also means he's got like two machine guns effectively covering the center. Which feels a bit like overkill. In particular, again, you have to remember the rule that is your tanks don't run on central victory points. This definitely feels like a strategic mystery in the situation there by Clorora. That he's like putting two of his machine guns to cover the center victory point, instead of like at least having one on the field point. We do get the Panther there for Clorora, but we also got a Scott here for Prabuty, brushing out some light vehicle, or well, self-propelled artillery here versus the Germans. MD4's the 5th cover. We got heavy cover versus no cover, or a light cover there. MD4's the lieutenant here, but again lost the southern fuel point once more. Clorora still without a commandant, but the DC will soon have a Panzer IV. And Prabuty will have the M8 Scott, which was based off the Stuart chassis. There also exists another variation of the Stuart light tank, which is known as the Stuart Kangaroo, which is basically just a Stuart with the turret stripped out and, you know, turned into an armoured personnel carrier. Fairly popular with the, well, British forces. I think they also call it the Jackalope. So, little fun fact there. There goes Scott out, self-propeller turret, they equipped with the 75mm howitzer. Infantry charging gun DC, Pack 40 at the ready. Panther moving forwards. Shots being fired. Raft score charging into the Panther on the gun at DC. MD4 team also sitting up here, bit belated. Could actually get possibly hosed here. But no, managed to have the gun at least draw away fire from the MD4 line. Just press the troops here. Major with bazookas. Pioneers could try and charge in. Scott M20 here. I think we'd actually like dive in the Panther honestly. Go after the M20 into the Scott here. But Clorora again seems a bit hesitant here versus Prabuty up north here. Stuart backing off as well there, having seen the reactions be plucked apart before the very eyes. Scott M20 racing back into the base here. Clorora, I think, is definitely a bit rattled here by the presence of the Panzer IV. He does technically have some bazookas to try and meet it. In fact, he's also a lieutenant into a bazooka team. So that is a total of 4 bazookas here for Prabuty. Clorora once more looks like he might be planted for northern fuel point, which would be smart, but at the same time as making the move, Gun needs to be engaged with the Stuart light tank. He got 5 kills on that one. H21, Panzer Kampfwagen on the move. Machine gun versus machine gun here in the south. Good shot from the Panther on the M20 utility car. Got the Scotland bar in the south, and the machine crew there definitely need to get out of there before they get utterly hosted by the Scott. And he's still not doing anything about the fuel point. I'm guessing Clorora's occupied with other things, but really he should be hitting that fuel point. Takes out the M20. Heading for the southern fuel point. Panther flying at the raft corps. Pack right out. Shots fired. Whiff. Graham northern fuel point. Rieslund's lieutenant. Major moving force. There you go. Just plastering that pack with bazooka fire. I mean, that's a total of, I'd say, roughly 6 bazookas now here for Prabuty. That is a lot of bazookas. Can definitely do some damage fast like any tanks if Clora's not careful. Or replacing the Pack 40 here. Still no commander though for Clorora. Eine Kommandant. Graph grenade here. He's even destroying himself. No one wants that pack. Poor pack. Back here, reinforcement healing. No commander for Clorora as we're heading into the 20-minute mark. Back here, reinforcing healing. And as usual, the sort of mark I feel like you should always have a commander pick by is 20 minutes. After that, most of the commanders just really don't even there like add a lot of sort of like benefits sitting around waiting about. So it just ends up not really being part of any strategy except, you know, typically just go big tank. Which is not exactly a highly advanced strategy, I find, a lot of the time. 5th gather, there's the Panther IV being pushed back. And also just miss on a lot of good stuff that could always provide disadvantages at previous, you know, various stages of the game before that point. MD4's the reactions there, pinning them down there on the center victory point. We got 417 to 393. Graham the on the fuel point back again, plus the victory point. Full reinforcement healing there. Pack's gonna need on the move here for Clorora and for Deutschland, who's being hammered bazooka fire in the side of the Panther 4 shots. Somewhat whiffing there, Stuart ground. I'm 20 heading southward sea, going to attack right into the MD4-2, which has no anti-tank support, no armor support or anything there. They will have to retreat the machine gun here before the Americans are running and claim it for democracy. In the center there, Panther 4 being pummeled by bazooka fire here as Prabuty's tank hunters on move, and he's filling up with the M36 Jackson tank destroyer. Will clearly rely on its range and penetration to try and push down any Panther 4s, but also just prepare himself like any heavy armor Clorora. As I imagine he's aware of 2 Tiger tank doctrines or commanders. And he's being met by a lot of firepower here from Prabuty's men up north. Their point being seized back. Jackson now 1/3 of the way done here for Prabuty. To the strike here by the west side. Ends up not doing too much though, which is fortunate for Clorora. South England leads was Ralph scored. Ralph Grenade there kills Roger. And up here we got this Jackson almost down there for Prabuty. Storming up, back again up with the M20. That's 22 achieved. Clorora, I think, would definitely benefit from another Panther 4 here, but also a commander would do Clorora a fair amount of good here versus Prabuty, and of course, I think a, larger plan here. Pack that be engaged with the Ralph squad. So far, no Panzers here besides the first one there for Clorora, though at this point he can go for a second Panther 4. Go. Second Panther 4 there for Clorora and for Deutschland. Heading for that southern fuel point again, even as Prabuty's got their 8 kills, Veterans 1, Jackson tank destroyer at the ready. Could switch out some crews here to get the Jackson a bit further up there. I think that could be a nice idea here for Prabuty, though at this stage probably not wildly relevant, but just because it's not relevant now doesn't mean it couldn't become relevant down the road. Panther 4 takes some nasty hits from the Jackson's 90mm gun. Hacks, machine guns at the ready there. Steward the move as well. Here we got 9 kills, Betty 2 there. Bazooka teams there, ready to hunt down some Panzers. Up north, he can lead southwards instead of maybe heading for that fuel point. Maybe messing a bit here with Prabuty's fuel economy. Hack repositioned here with the Steward. Bazooka teams continue their hunt, trying to stay close to the walls here to avoid coming into direct contact with the Panther 4. And there you go. We do get a commander now for Clorora at the 22-minute mark. It is Lightning War, G33s, tactical movement, relief infantry, Tiger tanks, and Stuka close support then unleashed here upon Prabuty. A bold choice, in fact, close losing his Panther 4 here. Need to blitz it out there. Other Panther 4 diving in. The Lufa rakes down death from above here. Panther 4 somehow survives that. Blocking the line of sight here with the Steward using its called again, shell shock ability. Gives him enough time to get out there because the Panther 4 then can't spot for the air support. Does get a wipe here. Lieutenant has expired, dropping even a bazooka here. So it didn't get any of the tanks or tank destroyers under Prabuty's command. What I can tell, yep. Not a single vehicular kill, but at least got some wipes in here and there. And also managed to seize the center away here from Prabuty. Not all bad here. Oh, that's an MD42 team that got wiped. In fact, both of the machine guns have been wiped here by Prabuty. That is quite the low loss there to Clorora, in particular. Prabuty managed to run off with them. Oh, he did manage another wipe there. That's slightly improved the situation here for Clorora. In fact, we might even see another wipe here on Prabuty's infantry. That's actually going to get pretty painful here for Prabuty to lose that much infantry that fast. But no, it looks... Oh, stood almost actually short of wipe by blocking the retreat path of the Ralph squad. Do be mindful of that. Ran back the MD42 Steward moving forward here, backed up the Scot and some bazooka teams. Sherman tank on the way there for Prabuty, freedom and democracy. Even as Clorora and the 2nd Panzer Division are looking to rebuild the forces for another counterattack against the Americans. Panther 4 here, but yeah, he likely went just for this one, simply for the super close air support. Not uncommon. Not uncommon at all. Panther 4 southwards, other Panther 4 in dire need repairs. All those inflosses for Prabuty does hurt him actually somewhat. But can Clorora exploit this, of course, is another matter entirely. Jackson the move again there. Based off the Sherman chassis. Fun fact, alongside the M10 tank destroyers. In fact, it was only the M18 Hellcat that actually had a specialized chassis built for it. Whereas pretty much every other tank destroyer in the United States service in the Second World War utilized some other kind of chassis. And he's being hammered with the Steward and the Scot there. You can see that Clorora taking too much time to bring in, I think, his forces. He has allowed Prabuty plenty of time to win and sort of, stall him up there and deal with him. If we do have the pack 4 in position, well, the Scot could start bombarding it, of course, quite efficiently. The Sherman could deploy smoke as well here, so less great here for Clorora. I'm guessing he's saving up here for another Stu close air support. But can he get enough value out of another one this time around? Is the big question there for Clorora? That is the big question. It's quite a vehicular pool here for Prabuty, like Stewart, Scott, M20, Sherman, and Jackson. That is a lot of vehicles and tanks put together. And self-propelled artillery. And tank. So, but anyways, having here at the Stewart, the M20 actually got it. Small win here for Clorora. Decent flank there, but the pack got wiped here. Ripped apart here by Prabuty's force. Might even see a wipe in the Rav score, but there we go. Gun is being hammered as well here. Looks like Prabuty. Can he make it? Can Guernsey there make it? He does make a close call there, though, for Prabuty. That would have been another infantry wipe then, on top of losing the M20 there. Clorora's definitely starting to hit back a bit harder here in Prabuty now, but Prabuty still meant it is, I think, much better map control here than Clorora, and definitely, I think, is something Clorora needs to work upon. Plus, you know, a bit more pressure up north here. Another Panther 4 there for Clorora. I used to think he's got the good sense to realise that trying to stall here for, like, you know, the big tanks right now would be fairly inadvisable, as I think that'd give too much freedom for Prabuty, and the last thing Clorora right now needs to do is give Prabuty even more freedom. Jackson being hammered here by the Panther 4 there, almost 32 on it. That's definitely helpful there versus anything but the Jackson. He needs to, like, you know, focus a bit less on the center, more like, you know, on either northern, on the southern field point and the victory points alongside them. And split the Jackson to the pack 40 there is something decent, I guess, for Clorora. And we got another tilt strike in the Panther 4s, forcing Clorora further back towards his own base. He asked Prabuty just claws more of the map under his control here. Finishing southwards, looks like I'm going to try and go for flank around the southern field point. Not a bad idea. Third Panther 4 ready, and it does mean Clorora actually has quite a few tanks here with a lot of firepower versus Prabuty. But the question is, can Clorora actually wield 3 tanks efficiently versus Prabuty? I mean, that's one thing. Like, some players, like, you know, if you give them the 3 Panther 4s, won't really be, like, able to, like, utilize them to the fullest, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Prabuty's bringing more Jackson tank destroyers. So I'd definitely say the window of opportunity for Clorora to, like, really leverage these Panther 4s is starting to close here, unless, like, Prabuty decides to, like, split up all of his armored forces to just allow Clorora to send his tanks after them one at a time, which would be pretty silly by Prabuty. There you go, grab northern point, Panther 4 up there. Second Jackson, 1/3 of the way done. Here's he's fixing up the first one. Go, all 3 Panther 4s now in fully repaired states. Sending his vehicles northwards. Plus bringing the tank destroyers in the tank. But yeah, he's just maintaining excellent map control. Clorora is just, in comparison, not doing too well there. Can't help but feel Clorora suffers a bit from tunnel missioning on the center too much there, and for some reason considers the fuel points lesser priority than the northern or southern victory points, which is, you know, definitely, well, the center victory point actually, I mean, but, you know, either way, not a great set of priorities there. I mean, obviously victory points matter as well, but if you can't get out tanks and allow your opponent to get all the tanks they want, you're definitely going to end up in a bad spot. But now we got 2 tank destroyers, a Sherman, a Scott, and a Stewart here for Prabuty. That is quite the armoured force. He does still have a decent amount of infantry backing it all up there. White Phos being deployed here. Packs opening up here on the Sherman. Rifle against the machine gun crew there, killing the gunner. Panther 4's remaining fairly static so far. There you go, White Phosphorus enveloping the centre there, and Clorora's jump off point. Grabbing the southern field point over the Pioneers. Infantry charging force for freedom and democracy. Panther 4 with 19 kills. Shermans and Jackson's there at the ready, and there you go, Jackson with Vetchi to engage in the Panther 4 under Clorora's command here, pushing it back. Bring in another Panther 4, but doing so on its own with limited support, I think, is a tactical mistake here by Clorora, considering what Prabuty has at the moment. And at this point, I think he should be aware that his opponent has 2 Jackson tank destroyers, which definitely I think is going to force Clorora to have to play his tanks and armored assaults very smartly here versus Prabuty. Oh, it's going to cost him, and there you go. In fact, too slow to pull us back. His Panther 4 could cost him it. Got very lucky there, by the way. Meanwhile, pack wiped up. Bazooka teams almost got the Panther 4 here. Machine also in trouble here. Definitely did not handle his tanks there well. He split them up and just made it much easier for Prabuty to handle the tanks individually. And proceeded to run around to tank gun here. So, again, Clorora tactically needs to sharpen up a bit here versus Prabuty. He's basically just offering up, you know, his units to Prabuty one at a time, which makes the job for Prabuty a lot easier. As Grenadier, you know, wrote, you strike with a fist, not with an open hand. And currently, Clorora is not even striking with an open hand, he's just striking individually with one of his fingers. Another pack 40 there for Clorora. Honestly, at this point, I think a Stuke would have been better. Again, needs more mobile firepower to help pursue the arm, and again, just deliver that decisive stroke. Like, you can combine like a good push with the super close air support at the right time. You could possibly like just crush Prabuty's entire center. That's it. Clorora also needs to be more mindful again of the rest of the map. There is, I think, a definite tendency for him to over-focus on the center, and also, crucially, despite having other avenues of attack, like attack through here or through here, he insists on attacking through here, like a very small part of the map there. It seems to be like, you know, very consistently the only path Clorora attacks through, which is not optimal either. Handful getting the Sherman, but can't quite hit it. Fifth Cal sitting up here as well. Still got a lot of his panzers to fix up. There you go, good shot here for the rearm of the Sherman. Fifth Cal almost getting cleared out here. But now we got the Scot on the scene here. We got 17 kills on 82 there. Could perhaps pursuing there for the Sherman. Gunny's being forced as well, but they're also close being wiped out. Got the Sherman, a small win for Clorora versus Prabuty. Prabuty definitely also getting a bit lax here when he's getting a significant lead over Clorora, which definitely could give Clorora a chance to maybe get back here in the game if Clorora, of course, again, you know, plays smartly. Jackson on hot pursuit of the Panther 4's main gun, knocked out one of the Panther 4's. The other infantry being absolutely ripped apart. Men dying in droves. Bars being dropped like they, you know, hot potatoes. Enforcing healing. We got tactical movement here for Clorora, pushing him with the Panther 4. Split quick maneuver could maybe help him out here. And there you go, calling in the low fire fit, driving around the Jackson. Bazooka team's also problem. Gun is moving in. There you go, crushing the infantry on the treads there. Almost got one of the Jacksons. Panther 4 that's knocked out. Low fire comes screaming in there. One Jackson down there. He's swinging counterattack here for Clorora. Can he manage it? Can he turn the tables here on Prabuty? Can he secure victory for Deutschland? Panther 4 could maybe take out the Jackson, but now he's focusing on the MD-42. But there you go, the wreckage of the first Panther 4 that went down. Screens the Panther 4 from the Jackson. Grenadiers charging into the MD-42 here. Hacks on the move here. Scott stood backing off here. And we got a 76 mm Sherman, the EC8 here for Prabuty. Finally calling in on the might, perhaps, of Brad Pitt. Which we kind of forgot about because, you know, we hadn't really used the commander that much. But there you go, grab the southern points back. Still ignoring the rest of the map, down to 99 points. Clorora really needs to pick up the pieces and start focusing on the other victory points. And there you go. EC8 out here for Prabuty. Adding the Brant Pitt commander. You know, the name EC8 comes from the E8 in the name, which was basically referring to the suspension. A reference to the suspension, which made the driving in the Sherman much more comfortable. Got the southern victory point, grab the center one. Got the Brad Pitt upgrade ready as well there on the EC8. Takes up the Panther 4s. Going for tier 4 now. Bold move considering how little victory points he's got left here versus Prabuty's 393. But then again, sometimes bold is exactly what you need to turn the tables on your opponent. They could also backfire on Clorora. Make a mistake. Lots of bazooka fire there still. EC8 rolling forwards. Ralph squad routed. Engaging there with the 76mm gun there mounted on the EC8 before backing off again. And he's reinforcing healing. Tier 4 right around the corner for Clorora. I'm guessing though he's planning for the Tiger tank here rather than say going for a Panther. That could be proven wrong very easily. EC8 Jackson moving forward. Grenadiers firing with the 5th machine gun there. White Phosphorus being unleashed here by Prabuty. He just wants Clora's men there to just, you know, go away. My God, it's Brad Pitt. We're saved. As long as we can pay the bills. Oh, right. His Raft squad here, Panther 4 flying away. That close to actually 3 there. Scott providing the Grenadier here. Almost got them hosed. Heading northwards with another Grenadier squad there. Panzer Kampfwagen 4 moving ahead. Norfolk on his flanking down the machine gun there, hosing it down. Pushing back the bazooka teams. Charging with the Panther 4. Nice use of the Blitzkrieg, by the way. They're basically just charging through the walls there. Attacking Prabuty from an angle he wasn't considering that at all. Very nice play there. Thumbs up to Clorora. That was, you know, tactically pretty smart there. That said, Panther 4 there, other missiles are bouncing against the EC8, despite being actually 3 there. It's actually failing to do a lot of damage, very on the other one. Almost lost the Panther 4, but still got some damage in here. Prabuty got the Jackson and might even take out the Scotty at least, which would be pretty good here for Clorora. He's about to get his Panther 4 there with a damaged engine. Can he get rid of the Scotty? Got it! That was a pretty good push. He even got the machine gun cleared out and could get it back here for Deutschland. He does have a damaged engine, but as long as it doesn't get knocked out here too fast, it should be workable. That was a really good push there by Clorora, and again, really just relied on just the element of surprise for attacking from an angle where he just wasn't considering at all there. Thumbs up to Clorora. I mean, he's definitely made some mistakes, but that was pretty ingenious. And now he's going for Panther 4 instead of the Tiger tank? What? I'm not entirely sure why he'd go for that there, honestly. Like, he's been saying that for so long, he might as well just go for the Tiger tank rather than the Panther 4 now. White Fossils unleashed here. I think that could actually help out Clorora get his Panther 4 out there somewhat, so I'm not entirely sure if that's... Well, he's got nothing to pursue it anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. Still, though, Clorora keeps ignoring the north. Really should just, you know, at this stage, just cancel that Panther 4 and go for a Tiger tank. Meanwhile, Prabuty, of course, going for more EC8s. I guess, like, despite getting set up for the Tiger tank, he ends up just going for another Panther 4 around the Tiger tank. Just feels a bit weird. But oh well. The Panther 4, though, is also a pretty good choice there, honestly, but I guess he's just going to go for a 4th Panther 4 then. Fine heading for Northern Victory Point. Need to fix up his Ace Panther 4 pretty schnell. Quite a blow here to Clorora's lose it. We got there the second EC almost ready here for Prabuty. No fresh fighting in the center as Prabuty makes a bull run down the center victory point. Second EC arrives to support freedom and democracy, going for northern points there with Clorora. And Prabuty charges the center. East Panther 4, they're halfway done. Panther remains reserved down south, ready to counterattack anyone going for the southern victory point. I'd say that is actually pretty smart there. Major versus the Panther 4 here. Machine gun there as the machine gun in the center. South here, Raftport was the Panther 4 there. Should add the Pinelmont machine gun though. 35 is the 375. Going to be a close one here for Clorora. There's ready, he wins. Bazooka teams pursuing the Panther 4, almost got it up north there. Almost got this northern victory point here and the northern field point. I'm guessing Clorora now might in fact be strong for the Tiger tank, although again he would just go for a 4th Panther 4 now, which would be quite a headache there for Prabuty to deal with. The 2 EC8s, in particular when one of the Panther 4s is all like ace level, like 4 Panther 4s coming after that, could possibly spell doom here for Prabuty. Well, you know, a bunch of Stooks backing up these 3 Panther 4s. Got another wipe there, Prabuty. The situation for Prabuty and the Americans is actually starting to look a bit more dangerous here. Panther 4s on the Stuart here. Will Clorora seize upon this opportunity to take out the Stuart light tank and then maybe like go for the EC8s? I mean, it's a bit of an exposed position right now. Ooh, lost the Grenadier squad though. Panther 4s are being not sent into this. We finally got the Ace Panther 4 on the move here. EC8's going for the exposed one here. Definitely should pull that one back before the EC8s knock it out. Not entirely sure it's sending in the Panther 4 like that without any support. I mean, that's like... And he's not clearly not setting up for some sort of like bait situation where you use the Panther 4 as bait to like draw in the EC8s. So, again, that was a bit of a strange move. They're just basically handing their Prabuty a easy Panther 4 kill. I mean, that's just a waste of resources. And now, in fact, he is going for the Tiger tank, I'm assuming. And there you go, Panther 4 ace. They almost knocked up the EC8, expected 2 veterans, 1. Definitely a dangerous situation here for Clorora now versus Prabuty. Almost got one of the EC8s, though. Got it! Oh dear. Despite the Noah's rapid situation, Clorora almost kind of got help, but they end up losing another Panther 4 though, so not quite as handy. In fact, now the EC8's going to move in and finish off the Panther 4 ace. Will it? Will Brad Pitt lose to Panther 4? Or at least fail to take out the Panther 4. Looks like Clorora just had enough luck there. Going for the Pack 40 now, like, when he's so close to the Tiger tank. Like, I can't help but feel again, like, you know, there's definitely some tactical savvy here from Clorora, but strategically, I can't help but feel Clorora is kind of dropping the ball several times. Like, again, like, he's so close to the Tiger tank, and then he goes for a Pack 40? Why? Like, if you're going to go for the Tiger tank, go for it. Don't just keep delaying it, man. In particular, don't keep delaying it when you're so close to it. White Foster by the southern point. Need to retreat the machine gun there. Almost got the Ace Panther 4 fixed up. I mean, Prabuty's obviously still in a tough spot as well, but I think if he just focuses more on the victory points, maybe he gets a half check, he could probably still win this. He just needs to be, you know, a bit more cautious, and I think need to take Clorora, you know, a bit more seriously than his time's done. Also, really just grab the victory point rather than fuel point at this stage. Himself is with the Steward, probably going to use the crew to grab the point. Got 35, this is 334. Handful getting the Ralph squad, ripping them through a bit there. No, he does not grab the sun pump with the Steward. I guess he's just checking it ahead of time for the Infantry to grab the point then. And there go isolating before to caught up the Steward and the EC8. That could be a quick wipe here on Clorora, but it's going to be helpful there for Prabuty to remove a machine gun threat there from his side. Now there's no one to defend the Sun victory point. Now the EC8 there for Prabuty. As for what Clorora is planning, I do not know. EC8 there's almost each level. Goes southern point being grabbed. See central one being seized by the Germans. All the points will being grabbed here. Some mines here could actually be a nice idea for Clorora, but I imagine he's just setting up for another super close air support versus Prabuty. Firing into a light tank, doing heavy damage. Got white phosphorus here around the center. He's pretty aggressive with that ability now there. Another Pack 40 for Clorora? Like, why would you then go for tier 4? Oh, he cancelled it. Okay, so he's actually not going for the Tiger tank. But even then, like, why not just go for more Panther 4s or some Stoogs then, if you're definitely not going for the Tiger tank? I'm not entirely sure why he goes for more Pack 40s against an opponent who just call in white phosphorus around them down with infantry. So just, you know, Stoogs, which also cost less manpower. It can also more easily run down the EC8, so yeah. Definitely feels a bit odd here by Clorora, whatever the case. Pursuing here the EC8 pretty fervently. Finding her in the center here, North Point still open. Part of me would actually suggest Prabuty going for a half hit just to like rush some infantry and then rush for the points that way. That could actually, I think, blindside Clorora with a swift mechanized infantry push. But very, very unlikely to see Prabuty go for it. But, you know, I think there's some merit to it. Allies ponies up north being caught here by the EC8 and the Steward. Quickly center. Packing, we got 35 as a 312. Fix up the EC8. Tanks on the patrol here. 50 got caught by the Ace Panther 4. 2 Pack 40s on here for Clorora. Quick bang around here and straight into the Pack 40s. Stewart pretty much taking all the punishment here from Clora's anti-tank guns. Allowing Brad Pitt to get out of this safely. Talk about a stunt double. EC8 they're being pushed back. Ground southern point. And that battle is the trick as to why Brad Pitt actually won the fight against that Tiger tank in the movie Fury. There's actually a stunt steward taking all the shots for the EC-8. Anyways, fixing up the EC-8 and the steward grab northern point here. All his guns to point towards him. Like right now, like a hard push from Prabuty could maybe like clear right through Clorora and allow him to grab through victory points here. Now he's going for T4. I guess he's going to try for the Tiger tank this time around. Fifth goes the Pioneers in the center. Pioneers being ripped apart, Bazooka found the Panther 4 there. Got the northern victory point, that's seized by Prabuty in the center of the Panther 4. They're pushing back the 5th kill there, unsurprisingly with a great degree of ease. EC-8's good to go, but what is Prabuty planning here versus Clorora? Attacking northwards. Oh, could get flanked instead though. He's attacking northwards where he's expecting the tank to be. Now we've got White Frost called in here. Oh dear. Could Prabuty have caught here Clorora with his leader hosing down his angles? We've got air support called in here. Everything just goes, I think, possibly quite insane here. White Frost was there deployed, catching all of Clora's anti-tank guns and infantry in a lot of noxious chemical warfare. Air support being called in here. The Luftwaffe is screaming down death from above here at the Shermans, but the Shermans are punching some holes in the Ace Panther 4 there. EC-8 down. Not the one with Brad Pitt in it. Lots of heavily wounded troops at Coh2 and wipes here on Clorora. Prabuty pushes fast enough in there. MD4 sitting up there. Pack's in trouble there. Pioneers in trouble. Still got to go wipe the Pack and the Pioneers here. Air support raining down death on the steward here. And the steward gets knocked out by the Luftwaffe. Now we got the second wave of infantry from Prabuty. And the center here for Clorora is looking very weak after that White Phosphor strike. The Panther 4 is not a great spot either. The Pack could even be seized here by Prabuty and turned upon Clorora. Southern point being defended by a single machine gun here. More riflemen there for Prabuty. EC-8 there being fixed up. Going at the Panther 4. We just rushed the southern point again there. Stuff something in a half-tech rush it, seize it for freedom. It looked like Clora's were winning, but then with a good push here, Prabuty completely just turned the tables down. Him, and there you go in the south 5th covers the MD4-2 getting down the east 8 could help a lot there. Almost got the center, about to lose the north, but we got 34 now here versus 249. Pack also recruit there by a few bold riflemen there under Prabuty's command. Second Panther almost done, so did he cancel T4 again? No, he's just going for the Panther 4 after all. South you see here as the MD42 pushing it back here. Center being fought over again, 32 versus 249. Now the Sherman there for Prabuty. Almost got the point there, but needs to go in the victory point. I'm not entirely sure I was grabbing the field point when like the priority really should be the victory points here for Prabuty. Trying to hold the center victory point, but Prabuty's having none of it. He's 2 charges for this, sending his men into the meat grinder here against Clorora. Counterattacks with the 2nd Panzer Division, 5th Panzer Grenadier Company. Grenadiers, they're being shredded now. The infantry under Clora's command is now dying at an incredibly accelerated pace here. Now the Sherman right there, center being seized. We've got White Phosphorus here on the MD42 and the nearby supporting armor here. Really disrupting one of Clora's last chance to keep Prabuty off the center victory point here. Enveloping everything in a white, noxious cloud. Packs up in the Panther 4s here. Got the southern victory point, almost got the center one here, meaning the bleed will be back on Clorora. We can just grab the northern one here. He could probably pretty quickly bleed out Clorora and win the game. To be honest. You see it as the Grenadiers, and the center here, Panther 4 was the rifle fort there. 38 kills there, about to get 39 I think, and another Panther 4 for Clorora. Wipe the Ralph squad there, bit of a blow there to Prabuty, and the other squad's about to get hosed as well. 26 points left here for Clorora though. And the 2nd Panzer Division heading north with more troops. EC-8's pushing after the EC-8, this Panther 4 there, but need to be careful, he's about to lose Brad Pitt there. Narrowly makes it though. Narrowly. Got the pack opening as well, and then the Panda 4 almost got it. Bazooka fire from both reasons. And there we go. Panda 4 kaput. Ace Panda 4 charging there for the pack 4 in the center here. Clorora defiantly goes for the throat here. Prabuty keep neglecting that northern victory point, I feel like. In the south here, we got the 5th coming out on the southern point here for the southern victory point. Panda 4 Ace kaput. That is a hell of a blow there to Clorora. That was easily at this point his best asset. Meanwhile, tanks being repaired, troops heading northwards here. In the south, the Clorora has managed to break through. The 5th Cav was ultimately not enough to stop here. Clorora's Panda 4 for that matter. Still, we got 11 points left here. 10. Situation is looking pretty bad. Looks like he's forgot about his info. He just left here? No, he hasn't, I think. Actually, I think he has. He's just dropped out of the match, and we're waiting for the game to react now. There we go. Game over. A loss for Clorora, victory for Prabuty. A fierce back and forth battle here, but in the end there, I think Clorora's strategic mistakes kept sort of biting him in the arse there. I mean, tactically, except for that one early pioneer loss, he handled himself well, but strategically, Clorora just couldn't quite mesh things together. Very late commander picks, kept dithering about with the Tiger tank, didn't commit enough to armor when I think he had the chance to strike hard at Prabuty, but again, there are also some tactical like strokes of genius, like that push for the Panda for the wall, completely blindsiding Prabuty's, optics in the fight there, but otherwise, he definitely, I think, made some mistakes, so that if he had played more smartly, strategically, I think this fight would have been his versus Prabuty. Prabuty, I think, also handled well, but could have benefited from some other tactical approaches as well himself. But, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell friends, tell family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. We'll talk tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.